They say your wedding night sets the tone for your marriage. Ours set the tone for silence. I remember standing in the doorway of our honeymoon suite, holding 2 glasses of champagne, watching her undress with her back to me. The dress slid off her shoulders like falling snow. She pulled on an oversized t-shirt, climbed into bed, turned off the light. No words, no kiss, no warmth. At first, I told myself she was tired. A long day, so much emotion. But the second night was the same. Then the third. By the 7th, I stopped trying. 30 nights, 30 rejections. And not once did she reach for me, not in the dark, not in the quiet. I lay beside her like a ghost in my own marriage. She never raised her voice, never avoided me. She kissed my cheek each morning and asked what I wanted for dinner. From the outside, we were newlywed bliss. But inside, I was starving beside a feast I wasn't allowed to touch. I tried to ask gently. Once, I reached for her hand under the covers. She pulled it away like I was fire. "What's going on, Lena?" I whispered. Her reply was a razor. "My body, my choice. You have no right." The words cracked something in me. Not because I disagreed, but because I never thought I'd have to earn intimacy in a marriage built on vows. After that, I slept on the couch. Weeks passed. I found myself memorizing the shadows on our ceiling, wondering what I'd married. I wasn't entitled to her body. I knew that. But wasn't I at least owed the truth? I filed for dissolution, quietly. No fight, no fanfare. Just walked into the courthouse and signed the beginning of the end. She didn't fight it, didn't cry. She just nodded, packed a suitcase, and left the house we'd barely shared. But here's where it shifted. 2 days after she left, a man knocked on my door. Bald, nervous, mid-40s. He looked like a man walking into traffic. "Are you Eric?" he asked. I nodded. "She told me you were abusive," he said. "Said you forced yourself on her. That's why she married you. To escape." The ground tilted under me. He held up a phone and showed me pictures text. Months of conversation. Romantic. Explicit. From before our wedding. "You should know," he said quietly. "She told me she was divorcing me to be with you." Now I find out she was never divorced at all. I stood there, stunned, while the truth clawed its way into the light. She'd married me while still legally married to someone else. Lied to both of us. Used me as an exit, then turned me into a villain in his story. But this isn't the part that broke me. It was the fact that she planned it. The denial. The distance. It was her way of ensuring I'd leave her, so she could walk away clean. The court hearing was short. She didn't expect me to show up with evidence. With him, with printed messages and timelines that painted her into a corner. She sat there, silent, as her 2 worlds collided in front of the judge. Her face, stoic at first, began to crack. "You committed bigamy, Miss Lorne," the judge said coldly. "And defamation. Mr. Holden, you may be entitled to civil damages." I didn't care about money. I wanted truth to be louder than her lies. She stood, hands trembling, and whispered, "I was scared." "Of what?" I asked. My voice was calm. Dead calm. "Of being trapped," she said. "Of choosing wrong again." She looked at me, then really looked at me for the first time since our vows. Her eyes weren't sorry. They were empty. And that's when I understood. Some people don't love. They use. I didn't say goodbye. Just walked out of that courthouse into the cold February air and felt my lungs fill with something like peace. A month later, A letter came in the mail. No return address. Just one page. I never meant to hurt you. You were kind. Too kind. That's what scared me. You saw me, and I couldn't let you. There was no signature, but I recognized the handwriting. I folded the letter once, twice, then dropped it in the fireplace. Let it burn. Today, I sleep with my bedroom door open, the window cracked, the sheets cool against my skin. There is no one beside me, but there is peace beside me. And in the silence where her lies used to live, I found the only truth that matters. Some endings are not losses. They're rescues in disguise.